What was your evaluation of Zach, Robert, after watching the film?
Thought he had a really nice first half. Came out, we started a little bit slow in the third quarter. Really pumped for him, though, because in the past when he's kind of hit a speed bump in a game, it kind of derails. But I thought he did a really good job of getting back on the rails and swinging back up in the fourth quarter to lead a touchdown drive. The frustrating thing is that, this kid's going to be a good quarterback. The NFL and this new instant coffee world that we're in just does not want to give people time. And so we look at him, and he is just nitpicked with it, just with a fine-tooth comb, everything that he does, and it's rightfully so. I mean, it is what it is, but he did a lot of really good things, and so we're going to try our best to focus on the things that he did good, and make sure that we kind of bring that to life, and we'll continue to work on the things that he needs to improve on. But like I said, he came on the second half. I think we all agree he was missing on some throws, he was missing on some reads, but for him to kind of get himself back on track, I thought that was really good by him, and a big step in the direction that he'd been struggling with in the past, and it just shows at least some maturation in my mind, with regards to mental fortitude in terms of getting back on track and finding a way to finish a game strong.
I got a ton of respect for Robert Saleh. I think he's got a bright future. I think he's doing a great job with a team that I thought would just maybe this year, best case scenario, win a few games. That schedule the first half of the season was daunting, and they've done well. They should be very proud of themselves. However, it's hard for me to not laugh when he's complaining about an instant coffee world, given that he was grinding the beans. I mean, he benched the kid. So, yes, you're using the same standard. You had an opportunity to go against the instant coffee world.
Right.
And stick with the guy, and you didn't.
Yeah.
So, just odd.
It
odd
is.
to me. And look, Zach Wilson's playing Thursday night. Mike White is not going to be able to play. His rib's not going to be healed. They won't let him play. It's got to calcify. They're going to play the game like they did last week. Oh, he was limited in practice. If he would have had practice, but we didn't have practice, but he would have been limited if we'd had practice. He isn't going to play. It's going to be Zach Wilson. That's the preparation they're making, and the Jaguars need to be ready for Zach Wilson. The question is, can Zach Wilson get a win? They need a win. At 7-7, they've lost 3 in a row, and they desperately need it, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big game for the Jets. I mean, of course, we know and they're fighting this. These are two teams fighting for a spot. Jags still alive in the AFC South. So this is cool. It's a good Thursday night game. There's a lot of storylines here. And, it's good to see Robert Saleh. I think that, they got to stick up for Zach Wilson a little bit. And controlling your locker room is part of the conversation. You're right. He kind of ground the beans up in this conversation a little bit after they were 5-2. And I know it wasn't pretty. I know he certainly wasn't amazing in that stretch. He made some big plays, and they were winning games. And he was taking care of the football, and he was getting out of sacks. That was the best thing he was doing. And then they were playing defense, and they were getting it done. And, but again, I think, benching them, letting guys in the locker room wear a T-shirt of another quarterback. Those are things sometimes you got to cut the kibosh on as an overall organization, because it leads you down a path of, oh, wait, now we've caused an issue here and we can't get out of it. And as I've said, the WFAN crowd and the crowd up here with the Jets, it's just the fire is always fueled here with the Zach Wilson conversation. And again, I want to say, I know it's not been perfect. I get it. I am not one to say he shouldn't, I don't think he should have been benched. I think you fight through that. He's a home run hitter. You got to give it a little time. You got to deal with some strikeouts and some bad swings every now and then, because we see plays and potential where you go, wow. Now this play right here, that was freaking horrible. There's no doubt about it. I get it. And then he missed another, or had the other throw where he got hit and the ball flew up in the air and their guy caught it, and that became a thing on social media. But he made this one right here. But also he made some throws in that game where I go, well, why doesn't anybody put that on social media? I mean, so let me just give you, this is where I think the Jet fans are being too critical. All right? They've scored 2 touchdowns in the 2 games previous combined. He scored 2 touchdowns in this game alone. I mean, Mike White throws the ball for 57 times, no touchdowns and 2 interceptions against, maybe the worst defense in football in Minnesota. Nobody says a damn thing about it. It's all great. No problem. Okay? And then here you see this guy, again, they can't find the end zone the last 2 weeks. Oh, boom, this guy can do it with one swing of the bat. Oh, touchdown on a play that they might not call with Mike White, because can he set his feet up and just flick it that way? So I'm just giving, again, I'm not trying to totally stick up for Zach Wilson. What I'm trying to say—
But it wasn't the 85 Bears on Sunday either, Chris.
Well, I get that, but it's the same defense that made the hottest guy in the sport that you were just talking about, Trevor Lawrence. They couldn't score points against him 2 weeks ago. They had issues, and he's got more talent around him than Zach Wilson does. So that's my point. It's too critical. And then, Mike, wait, like, Zach Wilson, not perfect, but we're not going to talk about the special teams let up a punt return. We mismanaged the clock. We had 4th and 1 with one of the best defenses in football, and we let up a 50-yard touchdown play. I mean, so those are all the things where I just want to go, again, I know Zach's not perfect. I get that. But I just gone to too critical. That's what I don't understand from everybody. And then no one explains they can't run the ball. They didn't protect good either in the game. But it doesn't matter. It just all goes back to that. And that's where I stick up for him in this situation a little bit.
Well, the reality is he's playing on Thursday night.
Yeah, I said a lot. You don't even know what the hell to say to that, huh?
He's playing. He's playing. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Right.
We get to see it again. We get to study it. We get to focus on it. We
Sure.
love the standalone games because we're not watching 7, 8, 9 at a time.
Yeah.
There's something there. Oh, something there. You can watch it one play at a time, enjoy it, understand it, and get a sense of where Zach Wilson is against a team that is in pretty good position to get to the postseason. And really, I said this yesterday, I think the Jets need this game more than the Jaguars do, because I think the Jaguars is going to come down to Week 18 because the Titans still have the Cowboys, on the next Thursday night.
Right.
So the Jaguars can lose one and still set up Week 18, winner take all, heads to the postseason as the champion of the AFC South.
Do you know what I'm saying, though, about the Zach Wilson thing? That's all I'm saying. I know we still got evaluating to do. I get it. I just feel like the criticism has gone beyond. It's become a thing in itself. That's all I'm trying to say. And I know some of it is warranted, like he deserved. He misses easy throws. He makes the difficult ones, and you go, wow, that's amazing. But how did you miss this 4-yard throw? It's frustrating. I get it, but I do think it's gone a little crazy as far as dissecting the kid right now.
But here's the reality.
Yeah.
When you use the 2nd overall pick on a quarterback in New York.
Yeah, that's the other part of it. New York.
Just like running the quarterback sneak in the middle of the line. You have to understand the risks you are assuming. It's not Kansas City. It's not a place where, it's not Cincinnati, where they're going to blindly support no matter what, and we're behind our guy. Now, in both of those cities, they didn't have to support. It's easy to support because both guys were spectacular by year 2. But you put a guy on the New York Jets in that market with that fan base, where they didn't just become that way overnight. All the ingredients were there, and it was incumbent on the team to properly support him, incumbent on the player to properly support himself. And I think that's the reality. And that's contributed to where we are. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.